Hello. The series, First, High-School Heroes, is the story of another weak hero who just wanted to live peacefully and study well. However, he was hampered by one global problem, voiced in the first frames, like an epigraph to the drama. The problem is that there are too many villains in our world. At first glance, the drama is similar in plot to Weak Hero 2. The main character Kim Ui Gyeom transferred from a prestigious high school to an ordinary one. And he had a good reason for this, related to the tragedy that happened in his family. The new student sat at the last desk, studied quietly, did not contact anyone. It is clear that Ui Gyeom was trying to avoid conflicts. And he firmly intended not to fight, ignoring provocations. But when there is injustice and inhumane treatment nearby, it is difficult to stay away. So Ui Gyeom will have to fight with the school authorities, so that no one else will try to humiliate him or subjugate him. And the main reason is that it just infuriates me when various moral monsters think that the school belongs to them. There are a lot of scumbags around. Ui Gyeom alone cannot cope with them. Will there be anyone willing to help a positive hero? I liked Lee Young-ha in the role of Kim Ui Gyeom. He turned out to be a realistic character, very lively, not like a cartoon character from a comic book. The actor's experiences are realistically reflected in his facial expressions, and so varied, it is interesting to watch his acting. For a long time I could not understand where I had seen this face. Then I looked in the filmography and found out that Lee Young-ha played in the drama Auditors last year. I did not recognize him here, because the characters of the two series look completely different. The auditor was smiling, sociable, positive, and the main character of this drama is his complete opposite. This is how the actor transforms beyond recognition, and he succeeds in different images. So, Kim Ui Gyeom is a withdrawn excellent student with old-fashioned headphones on his head. The old player that he always carries with him is the most precious thing to him. Why is this so? You will find out by watching the series. No one is allowed to touch the valuable player. An attempt on a valuable thing for Ui Gyeom most often leads to conflicts with local scum. If not for this, he would have ignored many provocations, would not have gotten into a fight. One of his classmates, Kang Yun Gi, immediately tried to convince Ui Gyeom that in this school he is obliged to fight, otherwise the school bandits will crush him. The authorities immediately noticed the modest, silent guy and began to cling to him, thinking that he is an ordinary coward. Although after communicating with him more closely, they very quickly changed their minds and now call Ui Gyeom a psycho. The motto of the local gangsters is not new. Strength gives freedom and power. Therefore, they are built on the principle of a pyramid, well known from many Korean dramas on the topic of school violence. As usual, each of them mocks the weak and obeys the one who is even stronger. Ui Gyeom is disgusted by their life philosophy, but he is forced to speak to them in the language of power that they understand. The main character encounters all the school authorities in turn, from the lowest to the most important. The clashes are brutal. The upstart Ui Gyeom, who encroached on power, will constantly try to put in his place. Ui Gyeom considers the authorities to be ordinary punks, until he encounters a high school scumbag from a rich family. The conflict is complicated by the fact that Ui Gyeom's father considers it necessary to maintain good relations with this guy's family. This is done for the sake of connections that will be beneficial for Ui Gyeom in the future. Actor Hong Min-gi played a two-faced villain. In some scenes he is well-mannered and respectable, but under this mask he is a sadist who bullies weaklings at school. In Study Group, I liked the positive character Hong Min-gi much more. This does not mean that the actor played poorly here, on the contrary, his villain turned out to be expressive, even too expressive. A repulsive character. The main character has a hard time. His life is not sweet, no matter how you look at it. A family tragedy in the past, daily battles at a new school and misunderstanding in the family. The mother hardly talks to her son, immersed in sad memories. The father harshly raises his son, demanding high academic results from him and exerting moral pressure. A terrible family. No one has heard of love and support from loved ones here. But the toughest of all is Ui Gyeom's grandfather, who tries to control his grandson and his parents and demands unquestioning obedience. Ui Gyeom wants something else in life, but his grandfather is not interested. So the main character is forced to defend his opinion and freedom at school and at home. As usual in Korean dramas with such a plot, the fight scenes are excellently filmed. It shows how incredibly difficult it is for Ui Gyeom to defeat cruel opponents. Each time the fights develop more or less according to the same scheme. First the guy is almost killed, after which he gets a second wind, and then the opponents get it in full. The fights are less brutal than in Weak Hero, but far from harmless. I don't even know why there is no 18+ mark on the sites with the drama. Overall, I like the series, First, High-School Heroes. A real drama with elements of action. The cast is excellent, it is played and filmed very well, watching is addictive.